Hello everybody, I'm Dawn Campbell, Director at the IAPC&M, and today I'm here with the lovely Anna Stapleton, who is a mental and emotional freedom coach. So we're going to dive straight in, Anna. So if you could just share a couple of minutes with us and tell us, how did you get to this point? Because I know not only are you an author of the co-authored book that we're going to talk about, but you're also a coach and an author as well.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, first of all, let's just say, you might tell from my accent that I'm not English, but I'm Italian. I'm married to an Englishman. And I really came to London as a teenager to learn English, and really wanted to just learn the language. But I fell in love with London, so I stayed. And within a few years, I found a job in the HR department of a company in the city, which I really loved. And I was given the opportunity to grow and to develop. And then by the early 90s, though, the company had gone through 2 mega mergers. The company had become from a small or medium-sized firm to a big corporate. And within 3 years of fairly challenging time because of the organizational change, I decided that I had to make a choice. It was either recommit to the new environment or to leave. And I decided to leave, and that's when I joined forces with my husband working from home. And at the same time, I came across the personal growth and training and development industry. So I started really looking into that, again, something which I really enjoyed and I loved. Then I started a second business. I decided that I wanted to do something else, but on paper, the business was just ideal for me, but it didn't really work out. It was something that I found very, very challenging. And after several, 2 years, I just gave up. And at the same time, decided to go back to work part-time. And I went to work for the NHS, the Mental Health Trust, in the acute care services, really on the sharp end of the Mental Health Trust, and as an administrator. So the combination of working in the corporate world before, and then the growth training and development industry, and the comparison to what was happening in the NHS, it was just an eye-opener. It was quite, I really realized perhaps the hardest thing was realizing what I call the silent suffering, that it's so much going on within with mental health and the challenges that people deal with on a day-to-day basis. And I think that's also combined to my experience as a teenager. I mean, as a teenager, I was very confused, I was very frustrated and very angry. And I could never really make sense of what was happening, because the circumstances I was living are not bad, but just me within myself. So that's when the interest in the mental and emotional element started, just looking at the different aspects. And that led me to write my first book, which was an autobiography. The book is called Defining Moments, Reclaim Your Power and Live the Life You Love. And the whole idea that for me was, if we can find out what are the defining moments we go through life and understand what's happening and the decisions we make and the consequences of decisions, perhaps we can make sense of what's happening to us emotionally. So the emotional element and the mental element have always been very, very important to me. So that's, I translate the book in Italian as well. And that was really quite interesting and found it very rewarding. And then a few months back, 10 months ago, so I saw this announcement for the co-authoring the book, and that attracted my attention. I thought, I applied for it, not really thinking that perhaps it would come to where we are now. And it has been an amazing experience because my tendency has been to work on my own. Do things on my own, but working with other people, with a team and amazing people, and really finding people, like-minded people. I was very inspired by their commitment, what really our commitment is, and I could see that there were similarities. So that's when I came to write a book. And as you know, my chapter is very much about the mental element. What is there is to ensure that we are taking care of ourselves. So if we are grounded, we feel grounded, and we feel that congruent to be what matters to us, whatever business, what I call the logistics of the business will come easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's really the two things go together. So that is how, what the chapter is about. And it's very much about being aware of self-sabotage. From being my own experience, we want something, but somehow we don't necessarily take the action. And so that's where what the book has been about, and I'm really so thrilled to have done that.
Oh, well, you're very welcome. I mean, everybody that I've spoken to, the 7 co-authors, they've all said it was either a challenge, having the discipline of writing, or they had some inner work to do, and they learned something about themselves. So what was your biggest challenge, having been used to working on your own and then co-authoring a book?
The biggest learning, really the contribution that the other authors have made to me, the feedback I was given allowed me to look at things differently. And it was really quite, and also their generosity in the comments. And I just grown as a person because of the comment that they have made, and the feedback, and really learning from the others. And the writing as well was a challenge, but I've actually enjoyed writing. So it's something which it was not that difficult. But it was mainly the interaction with the other authors and yourselves, and it's just been a good experience, and sometimes quite challenging, because I like to do things my own, so my way kind of thing. Yeah. But it has been I'm not the same person. I've really grown. Thank you for this experience.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, the IAPC&M will be putting out more books. This was our first one, and we were very keen to create this platform for people to have a voice and write, because there's a lot of budding authors out there, and not everybody has the confidence, the wherewithal, or the material, or even the know-how to write a whole grown-up book on their own. So I thought a co-authored book would be the best way to do it, and we had a fantastic response. And I know now that we've ended up with 7 authors and a lovely book. So thank you for your contribution. I'm glad to hear it was a positive experience, because we'll be doing another one.
Very much so. And also, I think what's also made the difference is the accountability. Sometimes you might, if you are on my own, thinking, I can put it off until tomorrow. Whereas if I know there is a commitment with someone else, I think that is a very, very important and very strong point, where people will go beyond what they would otherwise do on their own. So it's been, in that sense, has been tremendous as well.
Yeah. So people listening to this who want to buy the book and especially read your chapter, Anna, what would be the 2 or 3 key gems you think they're going to take away that is going to change their life or their business?
The main thing, as I mentioned already, about the self-sabotage. Because if we want things to accomplish things in life, and sometimes we don't do it, and there is the element of frustration. And my tip or my encouragement is really, first of all, never give up, but looking at this self-sabotage. And I heard someone say, I'm not sure who it was, but said self-sabotage is misguided self-love. So it's really encouraging people to go beyond the barriers, because there are various things we can't see. And by looking at the beliefs, looking at our habits, and whatever is driven us up to that point, is just go beyond that. And it's very important, because succeeding in business, that there are 2 sides to it. There is the logistic element, choosing a business and really having a business plan and everything. But to my mind, the emotional element is very key. So if we can combine the 2, and just making sure that there is that sense of groundedness and be truthful to yourself and authentic, then the business will succeed. We'll be able to attract the right clients, and we'll be able to maintain them. There will be that sense of loyalty. So it's really looking at self-sabotage, never give up, and fundamentally taking responsibility for one's life.
Yeah. So what's next then in Anna's program? What can readers look forward to perhaps joining you in the future?
My interest is in developing further what I'm doing. I'm really just with clients that do one-to-one, or also group coaching. But the other area I'm interested in is mentoring. I've really started a mentoring program with the school, where I mentor year 10 and 11 students. So I would like to develop that further. But it's really doing more of what I'm already doing, just going to the next level and ensuring that we promote life coaching as a profession, and making sure that, you know, people hear about it. It becomes more accessible to people. So it's developing the profession.
Sorry, I don't know why I've got a tickle in my throat. So lastly then, apart from finding you on the IAPC&M directory as a master coach, what's your primary website where people can go and find you, Anna?
It's really the www.readytomakeachange.com.
Ah, sounds lovely. Okay. Well, thank you very much. It's lovely to meet you, Anna. I hope your books do really well, and I'm sure we'll hear lots more from you in the future.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dawn.